Hey guys, welcome. It's Pete Bain again with a video on painting and painting materials, and also Ivy here. Today we're going to take a look at how I make, the process by which I make these canvas covered hardboard panels. I do the majority of my work on these panels. They're really easy to make and they are economical. Each panel costs just a couple of dollars in materials, and they last a long time. They're gonna outlast me and Ivy here. So follow along, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks. Let's get started. Okay, so Ivy's moved along, so now we can take a quick look at the materials involved with these panels. There's not much, okay? The first thing you need is a piece of tempered hardboard from one of the big box stores. They come in these 2x4 sheets, and I think a sheet cost me $6, maybe $7. Okay, and off a sheet like this, I can get, let's just talk about 9x12s and 11x14, some common sizes that I use in my classes. I can get 4 9x12s and 4 11x14 panels out of a single sheet. So that works out to about 75 cents in hardboard cost for each of the panels. The second item that you'll need, and it's not actually necessary. You could just cut your panels up and put a few layers of gesso on it and paint away. I prefer to paint on the texture of canvas or linen, so I buy these pre-cut pads of canvas sheets. There are 10 sheets per pad. This is an 11x14 pad from Paramount, and I think it cost me $15 on Jerry's Artorama. And so that works out to $1.50 for each sheet of canvas. Next, we have to affix the canvas to the hardboard, and for that you'll need a pH neutral glue. I use this glue that I've got from Amazon. It's PVA glue, what they call bookbinders glue. It's archival, it dries clear, it's very flexible, and it's great for fixing canvas to hardboard. All right, and finally, you'll need some gesso. I always paint the back. So I've got a canvas sheet on one side of my panel, and then on the back side, I paint a layer of gesso. This prevents cupping. It prevents moisture from getting into the panel. It's just a really good idea for longevity of your work, of your art. Okay, so yes, some gesso. I buy, acrylic gesso and maybe a chip brush from Jerry's Artorama or Dick Blick, one of those big vendors, or you can even go to Michael's store, something like that. I'm sure they carry gesso buckets there as well. All right, so let's take a closer look at how we put this all together. A couple of important notes on the materials you need for this project. Regarding the glue, the pH scale measures how acidic or basic a substance is. pH neutral is important because any acid in the composition of the glue can migrate into the artwork and damage it. And regarding the hardboard, it's good to get the tempered hardboard because tempered hardboard is infused with linseed oil under heat, making it much tougher than the standard grade hardboard, and also rendering it more moisture resistant. So tempered hardboard is dark brown in color and smooth on both sides. Speaking of the hardboard, the biggest hurdle to this project is that you'll need to go to a big box store, buy it, and bring it home and cut it up to these very specific and exact sizes. An easy alternative to that process is to buy pre-cut panels and have them delivered to your door from Dick Blick's or Jerry's Artorama. This is still way more economical than purchasing finished canvas panels, and I'll include a link to those pre-cut panels in the notes. All right, let's get started. I always begin my process by measuring where the cuts are going to be, and I lay a template on the larger sheet and simply outline the edges. At this point in the project, you get to choose the sizes and number of panels you want to create from the larger sheet, depending upon your needs. Using a template gives you much more size accuracy than if you make your measurements with a yardstick or a tape measure. I have always cut up my sheets with a circular saw on my basement workbench, but that can result in wobbly cuts, and truthfully, I don't really feel super comfortable using that tool. So for this video, I made use of the full wood shop at Lex Art, where I am a member. And my friend Paulo, the shop manager, ran the table saw for me. The benefits here are that the process was very fast, the panel cuts were perfectly accurate, and I kept all my fingers. The next step is to glue the sheet to the panel. Now the goal here is to get an even coating of glue across the entire surface of the panel. My technique is to squeeze out the glue directly onto the panel and then smooth it out with a wide disposable chip brush. You can dip the chip brush in water to give the glue to make the glue spread a little bit easier, but don't use too much water because too much can make your canvas sheet shrink a little bit. Once the canvas sheet is applied, I use a flat tool to push out any air bubbles. And then I'll lay a heavy book, or in this case a stack of old tiles, on the surface of the panels. I'll leave it overnight. And the final step is to paint a layer of gesso on the back side of the panel to seal it up and ensure no moisture can get inside the hardboard. And don't forget the edges. The gesso dries within an hour or so, and you are ready to paint on your handmade canvas panel. Here's our finished product. With 2 or 3 hours of our time and a material cost of $2.50 for each panel, we've created a painting surface that's wonderful for both acrylics and oils. It'll last decades and decades and decades, and best of all, you built it yourself. You understand every aspect of the support you use for your art, and that's really valuable. So, I'd love to hear, have you ever built your own painting panels? What's your technique? Tell us about it in the comments. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.